excuse me. We will go ahead and get started with questions for Russell with Chris Miller.
Thanks, Scott. Russell, welcome to DC.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Got a quick one. What was it like yesterday or today arriving at this new facility, but seeing familiar faces like Scotty, Pac-Man, Ish, and others?
You know what? It was great actually, man. Once this whole process, kind of getting here and getting acclimated and coming to the facility, seeing all the guys, obviously, but seeing a lot of familiar faces in the medical area, assistant coaches, obviously Scotty. Players as well, definitely gives you a sense of comfort. You got some familiar faces that you're comfortable with, so that was definitely cool to see, and I'm happy to be a part of, create those relationships and continue those relationships as well.
And just one more question for me. You've collaborated with great players throughout your career. What will it be like now to partner up with Brad, trying to lead the rest of this young group to a potential playoff spot?
Man, I'm super excited about it, man. Brad is superstar talent. And he proved that and showed that last year with what he had, and he's just only going to get better. My job is to come in and continue to uplift him, try to push him to be better. And that's all I'm here for, man. And I'm happy to be his counterpart and try to make the game easier for him. That's what I'm trying to do.
Appreciate it, man. Welcome to town.
Thank you.
Fred?
Hey, Russell, welcome.
Thank you,
I'm wondering, you obviously know the coach quite well. How have you evolved since the last time you were playing for Scotty? Do you see any differences, or is it just kind of sliding in and the same old stuff right away?
I mean, obviously there's some differences. I'm a little older. Scotty's a little older. We had some time and apart, but the great thing about me and Scotty's relationships, we always stay connected. We always been in contact throughout my whole career. Scotty was a huge part of the reason why I'm able to do some of the things I'm able to do now. To this day, he gave me a chance. He gave me an opportunity to go out and make silly mistakes. Some of the mistakes I still make today. He allowed me to do that, and I'm grateful for that because I learned so much about myself, about my game, about who I am as a player. And I'm just happy and excited to kind of be back with him and continue our friendship, but also our journey on the basketball court as well.
Hey, Scotty Hall, the sound's going in and out on Russ. Is there a way you could fix that? Because nobody could really hear it.
Yeah, we're trying right now. Bear with us 1 second.
Okay.
Hang on 1 second, Russ.
All right. What about now?
Sounds good on my end.
That's better?
Yep.
All right, cool.
Fred, do you want to re-ask the question?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think Russell knows the question. Yeah, just about you and Scotty since the last time you guys were together.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was some years back, but me and Scotty, we've stayed in contact the whole time, and Scotty was first coach to give me a chance to go out and basically go out and mess up and allow me to do so many great things on the floor that I'm allowed to do today. And I'm grateful for his opportunity to be able to allow me to go out and play my game and do that, each and every night. So I'm super excited to kind of be back, continue our friendship, obviously, and also, to be playing for him. So I'm excited about it.
Ava?
Hey, Russ, welcome. Nice to get to talk to you finally. Just wondering, obviously, you had such a big shift in your career going to Houston last year after the franchise you were with for so long. Doing that again the second time around, do you feel like you know things now just about making the organizational shift and trying to understand the new system and everything? Do you feel like it's almost going to be easier the second time around for you?
It's always tough to be able to get up and move. It's tougher for me now, and I would say not for me, but my family and my wife, because she has to move all my kids and all of our kids and stuff, and find schools and places to stay. So that's the most difficult part because I know the stress it kind of puts on my family. For me personally, I kind of just go with the flow. But that's the most important part about my life is my family. So just get acclimated is an important thing, especially for the wife and the kids.
And we asked Scotty the same question, but you're obviously such a known quantity. So many people have opinions about you. What do you feel like is maybe most either misunderstood about you or maybe misrepresented about you?
Where do you want me to start?
It's the whole thing. We have time.
Well, listen, I think the underlining thing about that is that 90% of it, 100% of it, not even true, because a lot of times the things that are made up, people don't actually know me to be able to say anything about me or what I'm about or what I believe in. So a lot of it kind of goes in one or out the other. But I think the biggest thing for me is just kind of going and being myself, which is easy because being myself is I can be genuine and loyal and understanding. Obviously, I'm not the easiest guy to understand and whatever, watch play, whatever people may think. But me as a teammate, me as a person, as a father, that's the most important part to me. And I stand strong on that and continue to uplift my teammates, organizations, inspire people around the world. And that's kind of all I worry about is impact and inspire. And that's something that I've been with since day one. And that's the most important part about me being able to have this platform and use it to be able to help impact and inspire many people, kids, children around the world, because I've been blessed with it to be able to do so. And I feel like that's my blessing, to be able to impact and inspire many people as possible.
All right. Thank you, Russ. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
DA?
Russ, what's up, man?
What's going on with DA? What's happening?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Welcome to DC, brother.
Thanks, brother.
Man, hey, the Wizards the last couple of years have been very public and transparent about how they want to reset their culture as an organization. What does good culture organizationally look like to you?
Good culture. I mean, I've been lucky, and I was lucky to start in such a great culture in Oklahoma City, organization that we kind of set the state for myself, Kevin, James, Jeff Green at the time. We kind of set the culture. We had Perk brought in to kind of bring that hard nose, put your head down, get to work mentality. And I think being around here, I can already see in day one or two that we have a lot of guys that love to work, that want to put the work in, that understand what it's like to put the work in. And for me, I'm just happy to be able to be a part of it, especially at this point in my career, to be able to come to organizations and be able to help, whether it's enhance the culture, to bring a little more energy and excitement to the culture. But I'm definitely just here to help and make sure that, the culture here is in the right direction, and it's already great since I've been here. So I'm just excited to kind of keep it going.
And you were famous for getting to practice at 8 in the morning, 7:30, and I know you did that just because that's what you do to get ready. But what do you think the rub off is when young players see the best players get there early?
Well, before I answer the question, I'm not famous for it. This is what I do. It's how I do it. It's not, not a thing for me.
Right.
That's the most important part, and that's something that I want to make clear. Like I do, I still do it. I do it every consistency is something that I strive myself in. But to answer the question, I hope it brings a sense of just people know what to follow. When you're able to kind of, I think my sound is failing. They told me that.
Okay.
Audio is a little going in and out again on that one, Zach.
Does that work?
Yeah, you're good now. You're good.
Yeah, DA, I hope it, man. I just hope it brings obviously people in the guys on the team have something to follow, look up to, bring some leadership. That's a huge part of just who I am, as being able to be a leader. I strive myself on trying to be one of the best leaders in the game, not just on the floor, but off the floor, creating great habits, creating consistency, creating things that people can follow and can learn from as they continue their career, and if they go to other teams or if they stay here, but they can use something they saw from me or something in the organization that can help them in their own path.
Thank you.
Dave Johnson.
Hey, Russell, welcome to DC. You just mentioned about how Scott Brooks, allowed you to make mistakes and allowed you to grow. Can you just talk about why obviously you've stayed connected with him and what it is like to play for Scott Brooks and maybe the trust he puts in players?
Yeah, I think the trust part for me was huge when I was young and allowing me to kind of make mistakes, give me an opportunity because, to be honest, man, a lot of coaches and a lot of just situations that you may be, you may not get an opportunity to be able to go on the floor and make mistakes. Have an opportunity to kind of play through mistakes, not just play mistakes and get subbed out. But Scotty allowed me to do that, allowed me to get better, and I'm thankful and grateful for that. So, and I always kept in contact with him and his family because we created a relationship, not just at work, but a friendship. And now being able to kind of revisit that it's great. Obviously, I'm at a different point in my career. Scotty's been coaching for some time as well. But I think it's great, man. I'm excited about it. And I know he is. We've talked already just about different things that, old stories, which is great because we have so many different memories of us being together, the good, the bad. So I'm excited about it.
Do you have a favorite story?
A favorite story? I wouldn't say a favorite, but one thing I know about Scotty is just his personality. I love, how Scotty's just, I would say, they call it a player's coach, where you can have a conversation and talk about anything. He's always available to sit down and talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. And to me, that's something that I'm grateful to be able to have obviously a coach to be able to do that and sit down and talk about whatever it is that I need to talk about.
Thank you.
Chase.
Hey, Russ, welcome.
Thank you.
You are used to throughout your career playing for contenders and really good teams. And this franchise hasn't won 50 games or been to the conference finals since the 1970s. How do you size up the potential and the opportunity to win here?
Sides are really high. Every season I come into the objective, regardless of what's on the team, it's one goal, and that's to strive to win a championship. If you don't win, it's only one champion. All other teams fail, and that's kind of how I look at it. So the mindset and mentality is not even remotely different. It stays the same for me personally. And here, my job is to be able to bring the same mentality here and find ways to be able to help and enhance the program.
And it's a roster full of a lot of young players, a lot of guys who are developing in this league. Generally, what do you expect from your teammates?
I expect them to be them. I think the biggest thing is be who they are. That's how you learn. That's how you get better. You make mistakes. This is how you see some of the great stars of our league and young stars. You see the things that they do. But you have to make mistakes first. You have to learn. You have to understand. And we have a lot of guys that can be really, really good. Go out and compete and play hard. That's the biggest thing. All the X's and O's and all the other stuff will come. But playing hard and understanding what it is to compete is the most important part, and everything else will fall in place.
Jonathan Fagan.
Hi, Russ. Did you want to be traded? And if you did, what led you to feel that way?
Well, I think, I'm here in Washington, and I'm happy about where I'm at and understanding that this is a new journey for me and understanding how important it is to focus on where I'm at, focus on the team, organization, the city, the community, the people here, because that's who I am as a person and as an athlete. So that's where I'm at.
Thank you.
Glenn. Glenn Consor.
Hey, Russ. Welcome. Sorry.
Thank you.
You mentioned earlier how, when you were a young player, you were allowed to play through mistakes, but your game has really been impressive because you've been able to seem to improve every year you've played. Averaging triple doubles, MVP of the league. You're a different player now than you were when you were younger. How do you coach you now versus a young Russell?
Shit. I mean, you might ask Scotty that one. He probably got the answer to that one. But I mean, honestly,
You're hard on yourself. I know you're hard on yourself.
I'm very, very hard on myself. Nobody's more hard on myself than me. And every year, like you mentioned, man, I try to come back better at something. And that's my goal every year. I try to come back better at every aspect of my game because I feel like I can do everything. And that's just how I believe. As far as coaching, I'm very coachable. Never had any issues with any coach of being coachable or understanding the game and listening. I'm all ears when it comes to coaching, and Scotty knows that. So I'm gonna just be all ears again as I continue my journey in my career and listen to what is told to me and go out and compete the best way I know how to.
Thank you.
Scott Abraham.
Hey, Russ, welcome to DC. Glad to have you in the district. I want to expand a little bit on Chase's question about winning a championship, and basically that's the only thing left on your resume in the NBA of winning that championship. So being here in Washington, what gives you that hope and belief looking at the team right now that you can win a championship here with the Wizards?
Well, before I answer the question, I don't agree with you on the resume thing because I don't think that if you don't have a championship on your resume, if that's the only thing you play for, I don't believe that's true, especially for me, as I look at legacy and understanding what that means. So I have a different perspective as it pertains to that. But to answer your question, I do, every season I go in with the mentality to be able to strive to be the best. If I'm not striving to win the championship, then what's the point? And I believe that each NBA player and teams, coaching staff, they come in trying to be the best, regardless of the personnel, regardless of what you have, what other teams have. It really doesn't matter. What matters is what we have in our locker room, and that's the most important thing to me. And we're going to strive to win as many games as we can and try to win a championship if we can, as long as we put our effort, our energy, our time, and our sacrifice our minds and our bodies to be able to do it. We can walk away and live with that.
And a little fun follow-up. I don't want to put you on the spot here, but I know you're a big Cowboys fan. So how's that going to mix here in Washington with the burgundy and gold?
Well, we're going to have to see, but I'm definitely going to stay a Cowboy fan for sure.
You sure about that? Second thoughts there?
No. I'm a Cowboy fan for sure.
Thank you, Russ.
Yeah.
Tim Reynolds.
Russell, I had a question, but what you just said sort of triggered me to ask a different one.
Yeah.
How do you define resume? I mean, what if it's not all about it? I mean, how do you define legacy? How do you define that resume?
My legacy is defined on, and I've had time and just over the course of my career, I understand that legacy for me is based on how many people I impact and inspire along my journey. I believe God has blessed me with this platform to play basketball, yes, but also to impact and inspire so many people across the world, and being in the community, understanding what it's like to be in my position is something that I take very, very seriously. I'm very intact to my community, my underserved communities, my African-American communities, and each day, as much energy and effort I give to the game, I give back to the community the same way. And I've been doing that since I've been in the league and understanding why it's important. Yes, legacy on the basketball terms of whatever the people that determine your legacy, but me personally, my legacy, I believe is and how I see it is how many people I impact and inspire across the world, because to me, that's more powerful as we see our society in the way that things are going and how it can move and things can go south very quickly as we've seen. And that's just how I see my legacy and, as I look forward and kind of my career and my life after basketball and while I'm playing, it's how many people I impact and inspire along the way.
follow up, Russ, you used the word platform. And part of the reason why everybody went to the bubble was that platform with the Black Lives Matter on the court, with some guys having, messaging on the backs of their jerseys. Now that it's going to be quote unquote more back to normal, I guess, in this new season, how do you want those messages to continue getting out? How do you want NBA players to keep using that platform now?
I think each NBA player have a platform and can use it with whatever they're most comfortably. But for me, I can only speak for myself, and I know that I am in the process of each and every day of doing things to help our underserved. I'm very in tune because I grew up in underserved community. I understand what it's like. I understand the struggle. I understand what it means or what it's like to be a Black African American in society. So I personally make sure that I'm in tune to each community, especially, and obviously being here in DC, being in tune to what's going on in our school system, education, in our finance system, in our healthcare, every aspect of our wealth gap in our society, in our world. I'm in tune with because it's important. Me having children of my own, I understand, and I kind of know why it's important now. It's going to be a while, obviously, to close a wealth gap, but it's important that somebody and that has the power, has the ability to impact the outreach to be able to, put their foot down and make a stand. And to me, to go back to my question, that is legacy. That's legacy. That creates a legacy long term for your kids, for their children, and that's just how I look at it.
Thanks, Russ. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
Heather?
Hi, Russell. Welcome to DC.
Thank you.
God bless you and your wife moving the three kids. It's hard enough to get my two young kids to Target to the store, and you're going, different states. So God bless you guys for that.
Thank you.
So obviously we know a lot about you. The DC fans, the community, know a lot about you for everything you've done on the court. They can read the stat sheet. What are maybe some things, as this community does get to know you more, whether it's likes, things you do with your family, again, just anything of that nature that maybe we can't Google about you? What are some things that we should know about you and our viewers and fans should know about you?
Just that I'm genuine. I'm a guy that likes to have fun, and I also like to give. I like to give back. I think that's a big thing for me, just because the way I play the game kind of misconstrues people of who I am as a person and who I am and what I believe in. And what I stand on. But obviously how I play and off the floor is two different people. When I'm on the floor, you're right, I don't have any friends. I'm not trying to be friendly. I'm trying to bust somebody's ass. I ain't got time to be trying to shake hands and do all that. I don't have time for it, and I'm never changing that. Off the floor, I'll continue to give back. I'll continue to be, to serve our community, serve the communities here, serve the communities where I'm from, continue to serve our underserved, continue to find ways to be able to change our system and our society, continue to do things for my family, continue to do things the right way. I'm all about trying to do things the right way, regardless of if anybody like it or not. My thing is making sure that I'm doing the right thing for the right people and impacting as many people as possible with my family and with the people around me in my circle, my team. And that's what the people around here can expect from me, because I am a man of my word. So if I say that I'm going to give back and do things in the community, I definitely will. So.
And being in DC, I mean, you talked about some of the, enacting change and being in was that even, did that enter your mind as the decision was, or as a trade, but, as you're thinking about coming here, is DC kind of the perfect place or a really good place to make that happen?
Absolutely. So many, obviously here in DC and the presidency, you have so much African-American history here, understanding so many different things that I like to tap into personally and understand it, and understand a lot more about the communities, understand about the underserved here as well. And I'm definitely already doing my due diligence on who I need to talk to, and understanding how I can impact and hit the ground running. I've only been here 2 days, but I'll definitely continue making those contacts and finding ways to do so.
Thank you.
Matt Paris.
Hey, Russ. Welcome to DC.
Thank you.
Brad was saying yesterday about what it was like to face you as a competitor and how he's glad that you're on his side now. Just where does that passion, that intensity come from? And did you always have that as an early age? Like, where did that intensity develop?
Yes, I definitely always had it at an early age. Started just when I was young and trying to kind of go out and go get it. Always the mentality of just, if you want something, you got to go get it. And I created this kind of why not mentality, which is something I kind of lean on and stand on. Is kind of my motto. Why not me? Why not be the person to do different things that nobody's ever done before? And that mentality stayed with me, and it sticks with me to this day because it allows me to go out and play and do things that I want to do, and knowing that I'm competing and leaving it on the floor. Had this energy and this swagger about myself, and I know where it comes from. I know why I'm doing it. I understand the reasoning. I understand how it can impact other people, how it can uplift them. So I just constantly bring it because I know one thing I learned at an early age is being consistent is hard. Doing the same thing over and over again at a high level is difficult. And I really, really pride myself on doing that. So being a competitor and doing it every night takes some sacrifice on my side from people that's close to me that may not be so good, whether it's my family, my mom, my dad, my wife, the extra hours in the gym and understand why I need to be consistent and understand why it's important to me to be able to make sure I bring the energy and effort because I feel like I always owe that to my teammates, to the organization that I'm with because if they expect that from me, then I will make sure I bring it.
And when you were teammates with Brad at the All-Star game 2 years ago, did you guys have a chance to interact much, or was there any interaction?
Yeah, I mean, it's All-Star game is tough to interact, but me watching Brad and seeing him and competing against him for years, I've always been a huge fan of his game because he goes and competes, and he's like a silent assassin. He don't really say much. He kind of goes in the game, but once the game starts, he gets to it, and that's something I love about him always, just watching him. And obviously he's gotten better and better each and every season. And I'm just excited to be able to play alongside of him and help him in any way I can.
Thank you so much.
Michael Lee.
Hey, Russ, how you doing?
What's up, man?
Welcome to DC. Well, I just want to ask you about the number 4. I mean, obviously, the number 0 is what you've worn your whole career, and there's another guy who wore that number in DC that I'm sure you're familiar with.
Yeah.
What did you go back to number 4, and what your thoughts on the previous guy who wore 0 in this city?
For me, I had an opportunity to get 0, and I had an opportunity to pick kind of what number I wanted. Obviously, I could have stayed with 0 if I wanted to, but I just decided to. It's kind of my first time in my career I can go back to my original number. When I got to Oklahoma, even at UCLA, I got there. Aaron Afalo had it, UCLA, and then I got to Oklahoma City. Nick Collison had it, and then when I got to Houston, Daniel House had it. So I never had an opportunity to kind of go back to my original number. 4 is my favorite number. For me, it's a representation, and not the number of people, but to me, it reminds me of just who I play and what I play for, and that's my family, my wife, my kids, my mom, my dad, my brother. Like, it reminds me and it gives me a sense of my roots and where I started from and where I get it from, because I have 4 months since I can remember, and it's something that allows me to get back to why I love the game, why I fell in love with the game, why I play the game, who I play it for, and I'm just happy to be able to have that number back. So I'm excited about it.
And last, what was your attraction to Washington? Why was that the place where you wanted to be at this stage in your career?
Say it again.
Your attraction to Washington. Why is it where you wanted to be at this stage in your career?
I think, once I got traded here, I was obviously there's so many familiar faces here, but not just that. An organization that is in the path of trying to do the right things culturally, trying to do the right things in the community, trying to do the right things on the basketball court, but also standing for the values of our organization, the values of the people here. And that, to me, that's a huge thing for me, just how people are. I think the thing a lot of people don't realize is when basketball is, you only go play a short amount of time of your life, but those relationships you gain while you play, the people you meet along the way, the people you impact along the way, those last for a lifetime. And that's something that you think about. Man, I've had to think about as I've gotten older and understanding, like, okay, as you if I move to different places, understanding the people you're around, understanding the people that you associate yourself with. And there are so many great people here that I know personally, that I've had relationships with before I was here. And I'm just happy to be here. So.
Great. Thank you very much, Russell. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We will be sending out information on media availability for tomorrow's practice here a little bit later this afternoon. As always, let us know if you have any questions, and we will see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.